You're going to sit here and you're going to prepare something that is never to happen. You're going to have your own camera. Okay.
Last week I was speaking about the Yehudim Gashmim, the physical promises, the physical benefits that will have when Moshiach will come. So there's a few more nekudas I wanted to point out regarding the Yehudim Gashmim. I discussed what is the purpose, what is the meaning behind the physical benefits that will have when Moshiach will come. Straightforward explanation for why we're going to have it is in order that we should be able to serve the Eibishter in complete peace and tranquility and without any daigas. The more a person has, complete freedom of daigas, and the whole everything is b'shaf harav, all physical things are in great abundance. So obviously you can serve Hashem in the ultimate way. And then we discussed the Inyan, it's not the miraculous, so to say, side of the physical abundance that will be that the Chachamim are so much maidich. The Chachamim, there's a number of Marich Hazal discussing how big the fruit will be and how fast it will grow, and so on and so forth. Do these interfere with one another when they record? You have to know sometimes these things are static that goes from one to the next. Whatever, stop calling. Okay.
I'll put mine too if needed. So the inyan of the miracles that the Chachamim discuss also it's not just staka. If it will just be that we'll have all these things in order that we should be able to serve Hashem properly, why are we focusing so much on it? So the reason the Rebbe explains we're focusing on it because it emphasizes how the physical world will become completely one with its source. The reason why things in this world take time until they happen, and even when they do happen, they're not complete, and things are not successful, and things have to go through a whole process, is because the physical world is not, so to say, mu'uchad. It's a thick vessel which is not one, doesn't right away take in the earth, the light that comes from Hashem. It has to go through a whole process until it finally is able to produce. There's a bracha that comes from the Eibishter, there should be wheat. Yeah, so it doesn't happen right away, you have wheat. It has to come, you have to plant, you have to sow, it has to grow. Then after you grow, you have to go through all the malachas of cutting and reaping and threshing and winnowing, all the things, all the Siddur the past, the Yudal of Malachas, and then you have something ready to eat. But when Mashiach will come, since the Davar Gashmi, the Gashmis will be completely one with its source, so the spiritual flow of the Eibishter will come right away. Right away, you'll have a complete, ready-to-eat food. There won't be a need for wait time. Won't be a need to go through any process of preparation. Will be there right away. And similar with all the other things. And what it brings out, reflects stuff on the Yid, that when the Yid serves the Eibishter in a way that the Torah, mitzvahs, and everything he's serving Hashem is in a way that it takes through the essence of his existence. His etzem mitzis, he's totally one with it. So it's something that's totally one with you, affects you on all fronts. Begashmis and beruchnis. So the man was also something ready. Ready to eat.
No,
I'm saying it was then also this Giluyim that is going to be lost.
Similar but different. The man was lechem in Hashemayim. This is lechem in Haaretz. I don't want to get into it right now, but the man was the Fisha also, wasn't. Also, das nicht in Dortmund nicht gewähnt, the ganze Wort hat Dortmund gefällt. The whole Nekuda there wasn't, but the whole Nekuda here that the physical earth will give out ready-made food. That says that the Gashmistic Eretz, the Gashmistic earth will be one with the Dvar Hashem. There was Pumfeker, there was the earth, took who knows how long to produce food. There was that from heaven it came down ready-made food. It was a totally different word. It wasn't Mudgish, the Milo, that the Gashmis was one with Ruchnis.
The Meraglim didn't want to go into Tzisrol because you'll be busy with Avodah
Right.
Zarah. So Moshiach had come and
Now, there's a few nakudas here. There's one main, a few nakudas I wanted to add to this nakudas thing. There's a lot to discuss about this. One of the nakudas is that there's another bir api chassidus, and the reason why we focus particularly and primarily on physical abundance. And the explanation the Rebbe says in the Maimer, the Rebbe speaks there, it's a Maimer, Achar Shal Pesach Tavshin Chavches, it's a Mugadik Maimer, Yermel Yenos Amacher Chodesh, was that Maimer, the Maimer right before. The Rebbe also spoke about this, and the Rebbe was focusing there on the Rechush Gadol. You know, when they went out of Mitzrayim, they went out with the Rechush Gadol, a great amount of wealth. They emptied out Mitzrayim completely. So the Rebbe says, Al Derech Zeh, Ki Meiked Seis Chameres Mitzrayim Merednu V'lo, so whatever miracles happen when they left Mitzrayim, same thing will happen when Moshiach will come. So Moshiach will also come out with great wealth. And the Rebbe brings there the Gemara in Pesachim. It says that Yosef HaTzadik hid, this is week's Parshas Saka, he hid away 3 treasures. Shalosh Matmonius. It says one was revealed to Kairach, I think. That's how he became so rich. One was revealed to Antoninus, I think it says. And the third one will be revealed to Tzadikim Lasad Lavoi. And the Rebbe says it's not just going to be a third in quantity, but obviously it's a third in quality. The fact that Oshpi revealed Mashiach will come is right, but it's a total higher level. So obviously, there's the Ramazim here, the secret meanings, what are the mystical meanings, what it means the 3 matmanis, but Pashtus is gold and silver, the whole gold and silver of that time. Yeah. All the gold and silver of his time was Yosef gobbled it all up, you know. So we revealed to the Yidden when Mashiach will come. So
Rambam says it would be so much, nobody care about it.
right? And Achanam, Yichom Madan on Suyin Kofar. So the Rebbe asks...
What do you need Yosef's?
No, Dart, the Rambam says, Kolam Madanim and Suyin Kofar. The Rambam first of all doesn't speak about gold and silver in the Choshuva, he does not over here. But Kolam Madanim and Suyin Kofar, all delicacies will be as dust. And that is 3 pirush. One pirush will be as abundant as dust. The other pirush is what you said, but the second pirush, but that pirush is as a continuation of the first pirush. It will be so abundant that will be considered as dust. The pasuk says, "Ein kesef nechshav b'mei shloimah." Days of shloimah, silver was considered nothing. Why? Because there was so much of it. So if you won't have anything, it's not that it's considered nothing because it's nothing. It's considered nothing because you have so much, so it's nothing. There's a deeper pshat that the Rebbe is mechadish, kol madanim suyin kofar, that the chashivus not just will be so much that will be considered like dust, but because we'll recognize that the true chashivus, the true hana, the true benefit is godliness. So all the madanim, all the physical pleasures will be mitzuyin kofar, will be considered in our eyes as if they're worth as dust. But getting back over here, so the Rebbe speaks last level of the Rechush Gadol. The truth is, there's other midrashim. There's a famous medrash. It says that Yerushalayim will be, in today's day and age, when you want to make two people want to make a barrier to their property, they take bricks and stones. So the Mashiach will come and make your division with gems and diamonds. It says that a Yid will go to Yerushalayim, will be face Yud Beis al Yud Ches Mil, surrounded with diamonds. Two people have a dispute. One guy owes each other $100. They go to Yerushalayim to Moshiach to make peace between them. As they're going on the way, a guy finds a diamond. He says, "How much do I owe? $100. Here you have plus." So he says, "Fine, I'm Meichel."
But the Bechanan was makbid of a Talmud of his.
Yeah.
Because he went. He said that the pasuk says something could carry. It'll be stones in Shalayim. The doors of Shalayim will be made of
windows.
The windows. In the Shalayim, the doors over there. The doors. Actually, yeah, it's going to be diamonds. So he laughed. There's no. They can't find the size of an egg.
High 10 amas.
Yeah, 20 amas or 10 amas. They can't find a size of a big egg of a bird. They're going to find that. He left. The Yomim, he went in the water and he saw Malachim were carving out stones for Yerushalayim and diamonds. So he came back to the Rebbe. He told the Rebbe, "Rebbe, you don't know. I saw what you said. So he said, so the Gemara says, he said, the Rebbe said, if you didn't see, you didn't believe, you're melaglig of Direch Chachamim, Chazer Lasa. It's not good.
These days they make them in a laboratory.
So the Rebbe explained,
The diamond they make in laboratory now.
Laboratory, you mean fake?
Laboratory diamond. No, it's not
Really?
fake. It's real, yeah. That's it.
Meanwhile, they can't come out good. It's not
They
very.
say it's good.
Not yet.
No
Not
flaw.
yet. No, not yet. Not yet.
Moshiach
Flaws,
side.
yeah. No flaws, not. No flaws, not. But it doesn't have that. It doesn't have the grain of the diamond that has the strength of the diamond. Absolutely doesn't have it yet. That's why we can tell the difference yet. Still can tell the difference. But it can take time. You can figure that one also.
Anyway, getting back to this, is that the Rebbe explains it. The Rebbe asks, "What's the ganze Gewalt? Why are you making such a big focus on the physical things?" Like I mentioned, according to the third pshat, they'll be all considered like nothing. What's talking about the flaw, the greatness of Losalavi? What chashivas? What importance when we have with all these things? So the Rebbe says there's another vart, and the truth is this vart is probably connected with a similar vart they find in other places in Chassidus. The Rebbe says the Rebbe discusses the concept that the neshama will be nizonos min haguf. The neshama will get sustained from the body. The way it works today is that the body gets sustained from the soul, right? That's why Rahman will sign after the neshama leaves the body, there's nothing left. There's no chayis, no life left. The neshama will get chayis from the guf. And the Rebbe explains the barichas of Chassidus, but the nekuda is we know by tchias hamesim the soul will come back down in the body. Question is, what's the significance of the soul coming down in the body? Why can't the soul remain upstairs and get to tzchad upstairs?
Without a body.
Without a body. Yeah. So there's two biyurim that the Rebbe gives. One beer the Rebbe gives.
The body's also going to be upstairs, like you say, upstairs.
Don't
I mean, without a body, that's what I meant to say. Okay, no?
So the Rebbe says two biyurim al pi Chassidus. One biyur al pi Chassidus is that there's two stages in the beer, so to say. One stage of the beer is that the guf will also the vort is losalavi, the revelation, the highest revelations will be able to be revealed even with the body. The body won't conceal the light of the neshama. That's one stage. There's a lot to discuss in that itself. The second stage that Rebbe says is furthermore, is that the ikar is the body, because the body of Chassidus has a higher source than the neshama. What does that mean? Chassidus explains the neshama is like a son to the Eibishter. The neshama has a milah. The body has absolutely no quality whatsoever. The only quality it has is the Eibishter chose the body of a yid. The body of a yid should be a Jew. He chose the neshama, the guf of a yid. Therefore, the bechira comes from the etzem of the Eibishter himself. A father and a son, it's taka, what we call in usual lingo in Chassidus, we call it an essential love. But at some point, there's still the essence of the father, where he's a bit detached from the son. It's the love is more of a natural thing. It doesn't come from the essence itself. When a person chooses something, that comes from the essence mamish. Whatever the beer is of Chassidus is big maskilim, I can give you better explanation. We just want to discuss the etzem inyan, what the Rebbe is saying. So the Rebbe says the truth is the neshama, and there's also a bechira, but the bechira and the neshama is revealed through the bechira and the guf, whatever it might be. So la'asad lavai, it's the highest revelations will come dafka through the guf, not just pshat. That the guf will also be able to be there by the giluyim, and it won't conceal. It will be a keli but furthermore, the neshama will get from the guf. So the Rebbe says, based on this, the Rebbe explains the fact that we make such a big thing about the physical bliss, the physical abundance that will be. His Rebbe says, why does the guf enjoy gold? Why does the guf enjoy madanim gashrim, physical delicacies? Because the guf is a grabe guf, and because it's a coarse entity that only enjoys physical pleasures. It's not just because of its coarseness, but it's because it itself, mitzad in yonai hapnimi, the haguf, the Rebbe says, mitzad the inyan of the guf has a connection with physical pleasures. So therefore, it's not just that when even the asal level, when the guf will be at the highest level, even like Adam Rishon Kedem, the way Adam Rishon's body was before this, or even more. Nevertheless, the physical body will still attain. There will still be some benefit that will gain mitzad its own inyan, whatever it is, however you explain it, from physical pleasures. So therefore, the same way the neshama will get sustenance from the body, the physical pleasures, the physical abundance will in some way enhance the avodas Hashem of a yid. It's not just because that you won't have any worries to be able to take the mitzvah. The physical pleasures themselves have a quality that they affect the guf of the yid, and the guf of the yid is the ultimate. They're going to be the ultimate height from Moshiach will come. All the revelations will come from the guf of the yid. To rephrase this, I don't know if it's the same thing. It's not mamish the same thing, but it's connected. The Chassidus explained a similar word. Why does the Chassidus, the Rebbe discusses in that sikh also, to mention last week, the famous sikh with Rebbe, when discussed last week, the Rebbe explains the famous question before Hashem asked, why does the Torah make such an emphasis, b'chlal, forget about Mashiach, but b'chlal, on Parshas B'chukoisai particularly, talking about reward and punishment, it's all about physical things. Why doesn't it mention a word about Elam Haba, about spiritual? So the truth, there's many Mefarshim that Rebbe quotes, there's many opinions in the Mefarshim here, and you could find all different types of answers, which is not the purpose of this year. Some say Torah does discuss Elam Haba, some say that Torah, for whatever reason, didn't discuss it here. But the Rebbe says there, a word apich sudus, Atzmus, the essence of Hashem, has a shaykhis dafka to Gashmis. Gan Eden is great, Elam Haba is great. But Sof Kol Sof Chassidus explains the etzem of Hashem is found in Elam Haza. So in the physical abundance, physical brachas is because it's hard to understand what's the pum pshat. Maybe if you put both the Namaim and the Sikh together, they have a little bit of understanding. But the highest revelations of the etzem of the Eibush is revealed in physical abundance. So the Rebbe says that it could be, if you put the two together, in other words, the physical guf of a yid, when on its ultimate source, which is and there is coming back to the iktiras. Dort is als nachamol, dort als pshat. Dort is atzmus, fine. So yeah, in achram. So das is out. In other words, the word is that in other words that you must say that the physical ma'adanim, the physical things you'll have, it's not. The Shaila is what's pshat. There's the Gilui Alakus, and the Maimon is mashma more than just the Gilui Alakus. Maimon is mashma. The Maimon goes with a different guy. The Maimon is mashma. The Guf has the Gilui Alakus. The Madanim help the Guf, so it helps the
Gilui. What's Mahav Gashmis? Only Leila Vada Keich Vechilik Leila have it, and therefore what. Any Gashmis,
so Eibazoi, was darf man haben Tanugim Gashmi? Eibazoi, the Etzem Gashmi ist allein.
The größte Geluyim, was es sein, the Gilui von Atzmus, es sein, darf gebude Gashmi, darf Tanugim Gashmi.
I have here my side of Lechem Lach. I have here bread and water, and I have the steak. Now, the Atzmus that's in Gashmis, the Atzmus itself, it's the Etzem Geshem. Tzidus explains, the Etzem Geshem comes from Atzmus. The Tzura, if it's steak, if it's bread, this is Nish Atzem.
It's more Gushim. Why is Lechem Tzar and Mayim Lachatz good for the Guf, till Bis Mashiach, and eating all the pleasures of the world is a Yid should frame himself for it, because it's Megashim, which means there's more good Gashmis, there's more of Fagrebkeit, there's more Gashmis, and over there will be Miskala, that over there is Gilalakus. More than in the Gashmi.
The more grubber is, the more alakus there is.
Because the more Gushim.
The more Tachtein.
The more Tachtein is the more.
But again, you're talking. You have in the Kuda that the highest, the Kalag of Yisrael Lamata Yisrael.
Yeah.
Then you have, but the Bechlad and the Kuda.
It's Edeler. It's Edeler means it's closer to Lakus. It's not that. It's not.
The rest out again. If you learn Chassidus, you'll see that there's a number of places explained that there's the Tzura and the Choyim. The Guf, the Guf, there's Einayim, Oznaim. In the Dover Gashmi, every Dover Gashmi is a Tzura. The Tzura comes from Malaklam. In the Guf, Mitzad, the Etzem Guf comes from Atzmus. Mitzad that, there's no difference in a table, a chair, a potato, a steak, a body. It's all atzmus. Why is so? In other words, if you're going to say, if
because the fact that this could be in this could go down low to such a low.
Du lässt dich doch, du lässt dich jetzt wegen Atmos, du lässt jetzt wegen Giluyim. Du sagst, was Chassidus says, that in the lowest things you have higher nitzotzes. But higher nitzotzes is nicht Atmos. Das Havus Hadover Gachmi, there's no difference mitzad Atmos, the same Koyach Atmos, that's Mahava, this Gachmi is Mahava that Gachmi. No.
Why?
Because Ruch, no, das ist der Wort, das Chassidus sagt. Nein. Als Ruchnis, wie bald als Ruchnis ist nicht, hat nicht der Hegesch mit Yusuf jetzt muss sei. Ruchnis ist nicht, ist not.
In Etzem mit der selber Kurs wie alle anderen Sachen.
Nein.
In Etzem ist Ruchnis
darf nicht Kechatzmus. Ruchnis darf nicht Kechatzmus.
Sie darf nicht haben, aber der Gil, aber Galle sein, der Kurs Sheba, darf nicht haben kommen zu.
Nein, das Havus von Ruchnis darf nicht haben Kechatzmus.
Aber bei Etzem ist als Atzmus.
Obviously, but that's not. I don't think we're going to get any clarification here through our.
As related Etzem lose to this Indian, you think that never destroys.
That's something else.
Anything related to that's what you say.
That's something else. What does that have to do?
Never get destroyed.
That because never get destroyed because it never sinned. You want to say because it comes from Atzmus? I don't think that's pshat. The bottom line is that I think the Mimer says a word a bit differently, which might be able to be more understood. The Guf, why do you need the Madanim Gash? In other words, the Guf of a Yid has Koyach Atzmus in it. By the Guf enjoying Madanim Gashim, not Mitzad is Grobkeit. There's the fact that Guf enjoys physical pleasures. There's obviously could be done in a coarse way, but if you take it on its most refined level, it's not a coarse thing. The guf you have, even in the Tanya, it brings down that when he ate good fat meat and he drank good wine, he was able to learn halacha better. In other words, right. So in other words, you're talking about the guf enjoying gashmis on a pure way, not on a coarse way. So the gashmis helps the guf. Since the guf of a yid will be the koyach atzmus will be in the guf will be greater than the koyach atzmus in the Welt. Kerchatzmus in the Welt is that Eibusha was Mahavit. Kerchatzmus in the Guf, that Eibusha was Boicher. It's also a different word if you think about it. But anyway, but the Guf of the Yid has the Kerchatzmus in it, so the physical Tainugim that will have, that will help, that will bring out the Guf, in other words, connect, that will help the Guf of the Yid. Through that, it will help the Giluyim of the Guf Losalavi. However that works, I don't understand. But I can just tell you the Oisis that's there. You have, the truth is you have nicht in the Oisis, but anyway. I'm just saying, it's whatever the beer might be. There's another place. The other word that I told you, there's in Maimer of the Rebbe. The Rebbe quotes in Samach Vav, I think. There in Samach Vav, he explained, I think, the Kitzur, that the reason why the Yudim Gashmi in Atzmus gets revealed. In other words, Ruchnis is not a Keli for Atzmus. Gashmis is a Keli for Atzmus. I just don't understand why if you have a nicer house, or you have what it says there, V'achaltem Yoshem Noishon, and thus, why is there more Atzmus if you have more physical abundance? In other words, how are you more connected to Atzmus now that the steak has salt and pepper on it instead of just, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to, I'm da verstehen the word in Chassidus. But I'm just discussing, in the Maimer it's a different word. The Maimer is a bit of a different word, that the Guf of the Yid is Koyach Atzmus.
Be able to be Mailer master and a course. It's a Koyach. It's a Koyach. And the more Helvester, the greater Koyach. And the more Begushim.
Fine, but that's it's still noch Alts in Giluyim. It's still not Atzmus. But it's nicht negated.
Okay.
I was getting late already. So that was the Nekuda that I wanted to say. There's a few more than Nekudas that I wanted to say. B'kitzur, there is an interesting discussion of the Rebbe La'asalavi when there's going to be that the earth will give out Guluskois and Klei Milas and so on and so forth. So are we going to have to do any avodah whatsoever for it? Are we going to have to sow into the ground, or are things going to grow spontaneous? And the truth is, the Rebbe, in the one for bringing, the Rebbe says you will have to sow and you will have to do charishu zriya. You will have to do plowing and sowing. Why? The Rebbe says a word because there still has to be the avodah satachta. The idea of dira betachtoin and having a dwelling place betachtoin means you still need the avodah betachtoin. The earth will give out ready-made food, but you need the avodah of the tachtin to need the avodah of the tachtin to the Eibusher has a taiva that everything should come through the avodah of the tachtin.
Did Adam Arishon do the avodah?
No. Yeah, love the Lashamra, whatever that means. Now, there's other Maimorim in Chassidus who clearly says you won't have to do avodah. But there's one Maim from Mittel Rebbe, there's one Maim from Mittel Rebbe, he says there's going to be two tkufas really. He says the interesting thing I mentioned in the past. He says, that a woman will have a child every day, the earth will give out Gulus. So the Mittel Rebbe explains that one tkufa will be that a woman will conceive from a man. The earth will give fruit based on the things that you'll have to sow into the ground, and it will happen right away. So a second level is a higher second tkufa after Tchias HaMesim is that it will happen on its own. The earth will give it on its own without having to sow it. A woman will give birth without a man. Hasid Isha Shatel B'chol Yom shall give birth every day without a man. It explains that B'chsidis Aliyas HaMalchus. One level is the Malchus and Zah is equal. Another level is the Malchus is even higher. You could learn Mari Admir and Tzoy. It's page Bereshis, page Shin Yud Anan. It's Taka this week. Miketz Vayigash.
The hip at Tzufim are taken with the
whatever it is, what I'm saying. But that was.
Adam Morishin, Kedem Achet, the first hour. When was the Chet Tzadas? Mamshin the.
He was born a little bit. I have to go now to another shir.
Yeah, I go to Shleimishim Shalayim.